Happy Thursday, everybody. It is your girl, CWall here on another Thursday, y'all. When is there a dull moment? When? Is there ever a dull moment? Never. No. And I'm saying that quietly because we will soon get real hype in a minute. Okay? I already see Cameron Mingo has joined the conversation. Because Cameron already knows there's never a dull moment in DC sports. Y'all, I'm going to give everybody a moment to trickle in and get this conversation going. Because let me just say, when there's not a dull moment in DC sports, that means we have something to talk about. Isn't that right? That means that we have something to discuss of importance. All right? So, CWall family, listen, buckle up. Buckle up. Everybody say what's up to my mom. Hey, Mom. Because you know that is part of this. My mother watches every show. She doesn't miss a show. So everyone say hello to the queen. That's my mama. On the show, that's my mama. Y'all. Make sure you are sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. Listen, I see my families on here. John Adams, Mazdak, my sister Joy. Y'all, get to sharing this show because we got a lot we got to talk about. In the background here, you can't see my TV, but in the background here, I do have the Nats and Yankees. That's why I'm wearing my Nats championship shirt. I have many of these, but you know I like this one. This actually might be, didn't we determine that this was my mother's shirt? Y'all, watching this, and it's just, let's hop right into it. We gotta do some announcements at the beginning because we gotta go through everything's going on. We do want to talk about the Nats. We'll talk a bit about the Wizards, and then we'll close out on the Washington football team. Okay? And I know Cameron said he wearing the same thing. Great minds think alike. That's right. And Joy is right. The shirt is not even mine. Anyway. So listen, you all heard me share throughout the weeks and throughout the COVID-19 pandemic that I am a part of a collaborative community effort called Goodwill Gestures. And part of Goodwill Gestures is we are supporting families throughout the DMV that have been negatively impacted by COVID-19. So if you know of any families, please refer them to me. There is the Goodwill Gestures Facebook page as well as the Goodwill Gestures Instagram page. So on IG, it is Goodwill_Gestures. On Facebook, it's just Goodwill Gestures. So make sure, again, we're still supporting that effort. The effort is still going strong. So if you know of any families that need the support, please let us know. Definitely hit me up or hit up the Goodwill Gestures page directly. Next announcement, wanted to share that Monumental Sports and Entertainment, so all of the teams that fall under Monumental are collaborating with another nonprofit in an initiative called When We All Vote. So for When We All Vote, and let me pull it up because I want to make sure I say this correctly. But it really is about the increasing civic engagement and elections for this year. So important to vote, y'all. So important to vote. And I was very proud of Monumental Sports and Entertainment and stepping up and wanting to be at the forefront of getting supporting and increasing voter participation. That organization, what Ted Leonsis does over there, and all of the athletes and staff involved have been tremendous. They have a lot going on. There are a ton of activities that actually the effort kicks off this Sunday, and it will go through election time. So be on the lookout for everything that they're doing. It is so very important to get out and vote. So over the next 100 days, they'll just be doing a lot in the community. You will be seeing them actively participating in getting voters, getting folks registered to vote. And then when election day comes, they will be getting folks there and back. So no excuses this year. No excuses. Definitely gotta vote. So I wanted to shout out goodwill gestures, of course, and as well as the efforts of Monumental Sports and Entertainment, because that is so important, and that is something that you all know, those that know me, those who are just getting to know me through the show, that I'm an advocate for, and that is community. So gotta put my community stuff out there first before we get into all of the shenanigans and the foolywang that typically goes on around here in DC sports. Okay, so all of that is out, and make sure you are sharing that information as well with your DMV family and friends. Now, it is Nats opening day. A little bittersweet, right? Because you all know that we've been talking about this, right? Are we going to go ahead with sports? Are we not? Let's see what happens. Is it a good time to do sports? Is it a bad time? What are we even doing, right? Then it became baseball opening day. Here we are, all excited, right? Then we get the breaking news just before the game here, because like I said, I'm watching. I got it on mute while I'm talking to you all. Juan Soto has tested positive for coronavirus. Now, if you recall, a couple weeks ago, it was publicly announced that Juan Soto was on quarantine because he had come into close contact with another Nats player that had tested positive. Actually, 2 Nats players had tested positive previously. They still had not shared who those players are or were, but that is what happened. So they announced he's going to miss the season opener. Of course, he is not on the roster for tonight. And General Manager Mike Rizzo says, and I quote, "We've got to make our plans to play without Juan for an extended period of time." That is what he shared with reporters on a conference call. So, okay, let's just hold that thought, right? So, the other thing is, after that was announced, right? Jesse Doherty of the Washington Post shares, and I quote directly from Jesse Doherty's tweet, "Juan Soto took multiple instant result coronavirus tests today, both saliva and nasal, and the results were negative. The tests were conducted by the team, which is permitted by MLB protocol as a point of care option when rapid testing is necessary." So which one is which? What are we doing here? Does he have it or does he not? He not playing. So they have multiple. He took multiple instant results tests today, and both of them came back negative. He was just tested 2 days ago. That test was positive. What's happening around here? What is going on? So in the age of talking about and trying to understand the testing, right? And that there's false positives and false negatives. Well, which one is which? And what's happening here? Because clearly if he was just tested a couple days ago and now here he is, what? Positive a couple days ago. Today, instant results, both tests negative. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But it really started me thinking in general, right? So in general, I'm still really anxious to see how sports handles this. Whatever the test result may be, positive or negative, we pray and hope Juan Soto is well and is feeling good and he's okay. Just going to keep praying for him, right? As we do everyone else, as we do everyone, okay? But it really makes me wonder, and it goes back to what we've been discussing this whole time. How do we play sports? How? Because if somebody is positive, then that's exposed to everyone who's around this person. And in sports, guess what? You're around each other. You touch each other. It is what it is. So, I don't know. And here's the thing, y'all. I don't think anybody really knows. I think they're all trying to figure it out while we're watching them figure it out. Because that was just a mess. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Does he have it or does he not have it? Either way you look at it, who knows what's going on, right? So we just got to keep praying for the folks that have been exposed and do have it, because this is a big deal. And that was almost a straight up catastrophe. So let's see what happens. I'm moving on to the NBA for a hot second to talk about the Wizards. But we know that there's been basically no other new cases of the coronavirus down in Orlando. But we also know what's happening. They're getting testing all the time. And, oh, by the way, they have to stay in this bubble. Same thing with the WNBA. The WNBA is not having those issues right now. Why? Because everybody's staying in the bubble. And while they're also in the bubble, they are socially distanced. They are wearing their mask. They're following all protocols. But in real life, are we doing that? Like, is it really going to be possible to keep everybody in one place in all of these sports? I don't know. You all tell me what you think. Is it possible? We're watching it happen. So we moving along, but we're going to continue to see how this moves along as time goes on. And I see one of my Hampton besties, Trina, is on too. Hey, Trina, girl, I'm glad you could join us. Girl, we trying to figure out this coronavirus stuff. Is it going to be, can it work or can it not work? We're going to see. Moving on to the Wizards. Did you watch the Wizard scrimmage? Now, let me just say this. And where's Joy? Where's Joy? And I saw my girl Tina Moore came on too. Because you know I got to throw some slight shade in here. Did they or did they not give the Wizards all the daytime hours for the scrimmages? I mean, my goodness. Nobody wants to watch them on prime time? I'm offended. No, I'm not. I'm not really offended. All I'm saying is they giving the Wizards all the daytime hours, okay? That's messed up. You know what? Yesterday wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad in the scrimmage. So I'm not Wizards fans, you all let me know. And I see Cameron, you know, I know he felt good. And it felt good. Let's just be honest, because we all love sports. It feels good to watch sports live. I talk a lot about this coronavirus stuff, y'all, but let's be honest. It feels good to watch it all live, okay? It really, really does. So, let me tell you. It was decent. It was a scrimmage. It was a scrimmage. You like to see the progress being made. Rui looks good. Troy Brown was cool. Ish Smith was all right. I mean, Rui, I think we're truly going to see, this is really an opportunity for Rui to step up and be in a leadership role. So for that, I'm appreciative of his opportunity to be in, to have that. So somebody has to do it. And so that is what I'm probably mostly looking forward to. Who really emerges as these leaders of the team? We know Brad. We know John. If Davis comes back, we'll have Davis as well. But we really do need to see what we have in the younger guys and how they continue to grow and mesh playing in the NBA. So, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I was good with it. I don't really have much to say other than let's keep watching. Let's continue to see how they grow, right? I don't think it's probably much more you can ask for, even though it's the restart. And I get that there's still always an opportunity to, it's essentially playing for the playoffs. But they're scrimmaging right now. Again, Rui looked good. Troy Brown, Ish Smith. I think it was fine. They had some opportunities down the stretch to even potentially win this game. So, it's I don't know, y'all. You all let me know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but they putting our guys at the top of the day. They playing at 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So y'all know what that means. And exactly, Cameron, they are still a bit rusty. So that's why I'm saying you can't really ask but for so much, right? I think they did, play. I mean, they played well. It wasn't a disaster. It was a scrimmage. They were in it. I mean, of course they did make some key shots, but it's their first time back. It's a scrimmage. We'll continue to watch and continue to see. I think I'm probably more so just looking for development. I am watching Rui very closely to see how he grows into his leadership role. So we'll continue to see what happens, y'all. But at least the NBA is back. So we got the NBA. We got the MLB. We got a bunch of stuff going on, right? It's not so bad. And let's just always keep the hope and prayers going that the coronavirus stays away. And I totally get what my guy Bernard Plummer is saying. It is the lack of star power. I agree with that. And then that's why we got to see who is going to emerge. I think Rui can do it. I think he can do it. The person that everyone's got their eye on. Leaving up out of here. Because like I said, we know there's no John, no Brad, no Davis. So, and even with those names, it was still like yawn, boredom, Wizards, whatever, old news. So let's see. Let's see how things go, y'all. That's all we can do. And hope that everyone stays healthy. It was really, really good to see Thomas Bryant back because we know that TB had the coronavirus. He has recovered from the coronavirus. So we'll just keep all those individuals who have had to deal with the virus in prayer, as I continue to say. All right. Let's hop to the Washington football team. What do y'all want to say about the Washington football team? Go ahead and just jot down in the comments some of what you would like to say and share about the Washington football team. What would you like to share? What would you, we went, and while you all are sharing, let me just, do a little bit of commentary, right? Let me just talk a little bit while you all are sharing and I'm trying to read your comments. And, I always have to stop myself sometimes when I'm getting ready to say the R word. But it just can't be peaceful. It just can't ever just be peaceful. And you all know I have been anticipating peace, right, with this team, with bringing on Ron Rivera, because he don't have this kind of time. Just all this other stuff that we talking about and everything that's going on, all the drama. Ron Rivera not about that life. He not about that life, okay? Not at all. It's not his cup of tea to deal with the drama, okay? The announcement of the temporary name change came out today, right? And I'm for the past couple of weeks, you all have heard me call them the Washington football team, because that's who they are, as far as I was concerned, right? And you would see it online when folks are talking, folks are chatting. That's what is being said, right? To D'Angelo's point here about just being ready for football, here's a couple things that come to mind, and let me know if I'm missing anything, right? First of all, the name is temporary. Let's be clear on that. The name is temporary for a season that may not even happen. So before we get ahead of ourselves, it's temporary during a season that may not even occur. So keep those two in the back of your minds. Then I also can say that, to Mazdak's point, sign some rookies. Rookies got signed today. They showed up at their place of their new place of employment. And a lot of this, Ron Rivera was pushing to be complete by training camp. Here's my thing. It's not like you don't have Washington football gear. You got Washington football gear. You got Washington football stuff. I got something that say Washington football in the back. It doesn't have the old name on it. So you go for what works, being temporary. Because that's what it is. Temporary in a season that may not even happen. I'm going to keep saying that. Temporary during a season that may not occur. We're talking 88 years of history that this team has to rebrand. They can't mess this up, y'all. They can't. They got to get this one right the first time. They have to. So while there was a push and a move and a go and we got a name and all of that, right? Then we're going to respond how they've always responded, in a reactive, knee-jerk way. Got to get rid of the name, got to get a new one. Do you? Soccer teams do it all the time. You just say where you from and say club or, whatever. The point is, did it all have to get done right now? And the answer is no, it didn't. It didn't have to happen right now. So they've already said, and they've said it in their press releases as well. They're going to retire the name. And I think what it comes down to is this. Y'all have to be very, very careful. And here's where I want you all, and I'm going to encourage you all to start paying attention to your clues. On their press release, they mentioned social media and what's happening in social media. Oh, y'all don't think Red Wolves got some traction? Oh, it did. What the fans were saying, it got traction. But that doesn't mean that's going to be the name. Here's another point I want you all to remember. Has everyone forgotten that 40% of the team's ownership wants out? How can you choose a name when about half of your ownership team is peacing out? You would think they would work through that with the owners, the new owners. You don't have an answer. You can't make a decision. The season probably not. There's a strong possibility the season is probably not going to move forward anyway. Just call them the Washington football team and let's move on. Because it's not forever. But you can't miss the point that 40% of the team is up for grabs. And to Johnny Leon's point, if Snyder is out, then why would there be a new name shared with no owner or no set owner? It's got to be more going on. It's got to be more to the story. And that's what you all have to remember. One of the biggest stories, huge story happening with this team is the fact that their minority owners want out. Nobody's talking about that. And I can't figure out why no one is talking about that. That is a big deal. It's huge. It's huge. It's already known Dan can't buy them out. So if Dan can't buy them out, somebody's going to buy them out. You can't just make the name and then I'm just going to inherit the name. That's not necessarily how it works, y'all. I want to also share with y'all, because you have to keep these things in mind. 40% is a large piece of this. A large piece of this. Nobody's talking about it. Don't y'all find that odd? How you gonna get a new name when you don't even know who your owners are? Work that out. Figure that out. Another thing I want to bring to your all's attention that I think is key. The fans absolutely deserve a say in this. Fans do. Before, when I, racing against the clock, I'm like, no, because you don't have that kind of time. But when you're trying to rebrand and you potentially have new owners, right? That's when you get a new name. They can't mess this up. I'm telling y'all that straight up. It doesn't matter what they would have announced today. Nothing would have been good enough. Nothing. There's not a name, because I know people that don't like Red Wolves. So at this point, they have to figure out the ownership, y'all. They don't know. They don't know. That is the story that's not making national news. That is the story that nobody is talking about, that needs to be discussed. If there was nothing else going on, do you know how huge it is for owners to say, I don't want to deal with this guy anymore? I want out. It's a big part of this story. And I'm going to go back to the point of, if this franchise truly wants to embrace culture change, they have to include the fans. Look, social media made them stop. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. Social media made them stop. You think Red Wolves was the original name? No. So, yeah. Start paying attention to the signs. Start paying attention to the clues. Oh, yeah, by the way, we haven't figured out the ownership yet. Because somebody's got to pay for this team. And the people that's got 40% of it don't want it. Because they don't want to deal with Dan Snyder. It's an important point that I want you all to hold on to as this continues to unfold. Trust me on this one. They did the best thing they could do considering the situation. What is the situation, you might ask? The situation is 40% of this team that is almost unaccounted for. They don't have anybody that wants to buy it yet. 60% might be up for grabs too, depending on everything else and all the other drama going on with the team. Washington football ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's temporary. Let them figure that out. Because chances are, if it's coming under new ownership, that owner has every right to name this team what he or she wants to name the team. It's only right. It's only right. Let me also share with y'all a bit of information regarding trademarks. So I'm sharing with my family now, just so everybody understands trademark. So for example, CWall Sports and Entertainment. CWall is trademarked, a registered trademark. The name of this show, Coaching from the Couch, is a registered trademark. That process alone for each one of those probably took 10 months each. Okay? And the reason why it took 10 months each was because I didn't have anybody that would contest it. So when you put in the papers for it, now you can do the papers yourself, or you can hire an intellectual property attorney to handle everything. I hired an attorney, so she handled everything. You still have 30 days. Anybody out here in the world, 30 days to contest this application. And oh, guess what? If you trying to get a like from somebody else, like Red Wolves, they want Red Wolves. Oh, now we got to go have a conversation with Arkansas State about this name. Is it okay if we use it? That is a process. It does not happen overnight. It does not. Because if little old me had to wait 10 months to get my trademark registered, you already know the team in Ashburn gonna have to wait if somebody else has already got the name. Just a little bit of education, so I can let y'all know. There's more to this. It's more. It's always more, right? Keep all of those things in mind. It's very important that you know and be educated on the process, because it matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. And Julie Donaldson done said, she already done told everybody, and I retweeted it. Y'all follow me on Twitter at CWallSE, that they're going to have a site called The Journey, where fans can see exactly what they're doing, and fans could provide input. They can do all of those things. I encourage each and every one of you, get on that site. Hear me on this. Get on that site and let your voice be heard. Put your feedback on there. Comment as much as you would like. Seriously. Seriously. Because I promise you, if they would have announced the name today, they would have jacked it up and y'all would have been mad. Trust me on that one. Call them the Washington football team and let's just let that go. Seriously. Let them try to get this thing right. From the top to the bottom. Let them try to get it right. That's all, y'all. That's all. Don't be angry. Don't be mad. And I know a lot of people are like, it's lazy, it's this, it's that. Listen, if the knee-jerk reaction would have happened like it would normally happen, Yeah, you up against a time crunch, and it ain't like Washington football team is that daggone bad. I mean, and then you got to think of it. They got teams, the Browns, the Texans, the Dolphins. I don't think that took a whole lot of anything for them to come up with those names. Hey, listen. Y'all better shoot y'all shot over there on that website and get the tweeting and posting. The name y'all like might catch some traction. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Okay? But did it help? Y'all give me some signs that what I just shared with y'all help y'all. Give me a love emoji, a like emoji, a thumbs up, something. Y'all had me worried. I said, hold up a second. It could have been anything. Trying to tell you, just hold off for a second. Just wait a minute, hold on. I mean, there's other things going on in the background, and I'm going to say it again. 40% at the least of the team is at stake. It's up for grabs, everybody. It's up for grabs, okay? Y'all got 5 on it? 10, 20, 30. They could do, I've always said, why they just don't do what the Green Bay Packers have done. And that was, that the fans have part ownership in it. I think that's what you got to do. Why not? So, to Mazdak's earlier point, the rookies are in the building. They're in the building, y'all. It's almost time. Training camp's supposed to start next week. And let's just go back. Let's go back for a minute. Ron Rivera, he done told people, I'm not answering no questions about a name. Football. You got a football question? Ask me. Question about the name? Don't ask me. Straight up like that. Y'all, if there is a season, let's try to get excited, okay? We're going to try to get excited because training camp is still on. It's on the calendar. They haven't delayed it as of yet. So let's just move on like we've been moving on, okay? All right, y'all. That was all I had today. Yay, we made it. Another week. Another week. Another week. So, we're going to keep watching because when is there a dull moment in DC sports? Never. Absolutely never. Y'all, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Another Thursday, y'all. We got through it. We did it. And I hope you all enjoyed it, okay? You all keep watching. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Keep sharing the show with your DC sports loving family and friends. And I will see y'all next week. Have a good night.